Hi, you guys. I am sorry that I was late by 2 minutes. I had to download all I had to re-download Chrome because if you watched my vlog that went up, I took my computer into the shop. I got my computer back, but it was a whole system. My issue with my computer was a system issue. Like I don't know if I had a virus on my computer. I don't know what happened, but it was a whole system issue. So they wiped the entire computer and I didn't have Chrome downloaded. And in order to use the software, you have to use it with Chrome. So I didn't have Chrome. So I was downloading Chrome. And that's why I wasn't here when I was supposed to be. Let me put up the book club announcement over on Lily Reads, and we are going to get started. I do not want to keep you long. I want you guys to go enjoy your Sunday, but we do have some things we need to discuss today. How are you guys? Let me switch my account. I am doing well. Create a post. We are live on the book club. Okay, so today, you guys, we are going to be discussing Kennedy Ryan's This Could Be Us. This is the follow-up book to Before I Let Go by Kennedy Ryan. We read this book last March, I believe, and now for April, we are reading This Could Be Us. Let's just get on into it. How do you guys feel? How do you guys feel about this book? What is your rating for this book? I will tell you my rating for this book, I think, and then I'm going to come ask you some questions. We'll center our conversation around some questions I have, and that's how we'll discuss. How do you guys feel about this? We have 2.5, 3.5, a very generous 3, a 4, might be 3.5. Monty gives it 1.15 stars. This book was messy AF, 4.5. 3. I'm going to be so honest with you guys. I was not expecting the ratings to be all over the place for this one. I kind of came in expecting a certain thing, but we'll get into it. 4, 2.5, 2, 4. I like Before I Let Go better. 3.5, 3, 3. What's next? Heavy on the very generous 3. We have a 4. We have a 4.5, 3.5, 4. 3.75, kind of corny. 3.75, kind of corny. 4.5. 4, but I bumped it down to a 3.75. Do not be deterred by the people in the comments saying they don't like this. If you like this book, stand on it, okay? Calling this book messy is incorrect unless we are discussing the sloppy nature of its construction. 3 to 4. Okay, so here is the thing. I have my notes. I took notes on this because I personally am all over the place with this book. In a way that I think Before I Let Go was just overall a good book, like an enjoyable book. Yes, I see why people wouldn't like certain subject matter. You could have an issue with some writing here or there. I had some issues with characters here or there. It's a perfectly fine book. I do think this book from Kennedy Ryan is more, I think, all over the place. I feel like of all the Kennedy Ryan books I have read, this is the most, I feel like, unlike Kennedy Ryan. Maybe I just haven't read enough of Kennedy Ryan's backlist. But if I were to just pick up this book, number one, I wouldn't necessarily assume these two books are in the same world because I feel like their tone is kind of different. And it just seems, I don't know, something about it seems a little out of character for Kennedy Ryan. I will go up and say I did not hate this book. I did not hate this book at all. I didn't hate this book at all, but I do think this was a very interesting reading experience for me because Some page so I read it about 50 pages at a time. I read like 50 pages every sitting. And like when it the first 50, I was like, okay, this is fun. Then the next 50, I was kind of, falling out of it. Then I'd come back and like it was just very up and down, a very up and down graph. And then when it got towards the end of the book, I put this right in my notes. I actively wasn't enjoying myself. That is how I felt reading this book. Beginning was there for the premise. Middle, I was like, okay, we're getting there. And then the last 100 pages, I thought this book dragged. I felt no reason for us to still be here. I was just like, this book can end, and I don't understand why this book is ending. What more is there to get from this book? That is how I was feeling about this book. And so let's start off with me telling you what this book is about if you do not know. So, in this book, we are following two characters named Soledad and Judah Cross. Soledad is married. She has three daughters and she has a white husband. Her white husband works for this company and they're at a Christmas party. And before they get to the Christmas party, her and her husband are having issues. They get to the Christmas party. She meets this guy named Judah Cross. Her husband says Judah's this accountant who's been on his ass. We don't know what he's talking about, but they kind of hit it off. Whatever. They come back and home, and her husband gets snatched up by the FBI like a day later. Come to find out, Judah was an accountant hired to see who's been stealing money from the company Soledad's husband works for, and it was her husband who was stealing money. He stole $6 million. He got arrested. So they put a freeze on all of her bank accounts. She don't got no money. She don't got no job. So she decides that she's going to be an influencer to start making money. She finds out that her husband's been having an affair, gave her an STD, has a baby on the way, and basically Judah just steps in. He's like, I want to help you guys out. Like, I brought your husband now, so I'm going to help you guys out. And so like they start to hit it off. Soledad's being an influencer. Judah is dealing with he has a divorce from his wife named Tremaine. They have two sons who have autism, and he's dealing with that. And like through that, they kind of get together. There's really nothing else for me to add on to that. Her daughters kind of have an issue with her dating, but pretty much that's what happens with the book. Her and Judah get to know each other. She decides she doesn't want to date. Like she wants to date herself, whatever. And so like there's this like will they, won't they thing going on. And that's pretty much the book. That's pretty much the book. And this is where I want to begin right here with Monty. I felt like the husband. How did y'all feel about the husband? Because the big thing about this book is the husband. The husband's stealing. He works at the pots and pans company. He's stealing $6 million damn dollars. How much can this pots and pans company be making where $6 million goes unnoticed? Be serious. How do you guys feel about the husband storyline cheating? When I first got into the book, this is where I was actually pulled in. I said, okay, we got a little stealing, we got a little terrible husband. But I quickly felt like the husband became like mustache twirling villain, like he wasn't a real person. So for this entire book to rest on this husband who is terrible and doing terrible things, I'm just like, I don't think people act like this in real life. I don't think this is a real person. Like the husband just was like he was just overly weird. Like even okay, so when they got into the argument before they went to the Christmas party, him like not wanting to have sex with her, him being really weird, like you can tell he's having an affair, him being overly upset with Judah, it was just then him sleeping with Amber, then of course he gives her an STD, and then him having this big long con about how he has money all over the globe, and once he gets out of jail, he's gonna help them out. Him not even caring about any of that. When he gives her an STD, he blames her, like who you've been sleeping with. He tries to, turn it on her. And I'm just like, when is this guy going to be a real guy? When is this guy going to act like someone who like exists in real life? At all. And so like I was sitting here and I'm just like, can y'all explain to me how Soledad was with this man like at all? Can y'all give me something that makes me believe Soledad, who I'm supposed to root for, is in her good mind and was with this man to begin with? Like, she never once, except saying he used to help the kids, ride bikes and stuff, explains why she would ever be in a relationship with this man. She was talking about how when they were at Cornell, she was the one helping him with his homework. Like, he sucked the entire time that they've been together. And I'm just like, how am I supposed to feel about this man? Because this man has never been good. This man has never been great. So I'm just like, this whole idea rests on this husband who's leaving her. She needs to find a life. But I don't understand. This husband, like, is not a real character. I'm sorry. He's just a villain to be put in a book. None at all. And so when she goes to the prison to confront him about the STD, I'm expecting some vulnerability. I was waiting for this moment of vulnerability between the husband and Soledad, and it never comes. And it literally never comes at all. And so I'm just like, who is this husband? Like, it just seemed, it made the whole idea of this man stealing and their whole life crumbling down. Because when the book first started, I did like the idea of like, we're meeting someone in a marriage and they're going to end up being with someone else. I like that. I really like, more than I like second chance romances, because I'm not a big second chance romance girl. I do like the idea of someone being in a relationship, leaving a relationship and being with someone else. But like, I just feel like to do it well, there needs to be something that the other partner has, the original partner has, that the new partner might not have. So there's this conflict there. There's this like, ooh, should she still be with her husband? Should she be with this man? But this man sucks. This man sucks. He sucked from the beginning. We haven't seen a single good quality about it. He cheats. He steals. He got a baby on the way. And then in the very end, he don't even want to be with the kids at all once he gets out of jail. He runs out of die. So it's just like, there's no conflict there. He's just literally nothingness. And he's ridiculously evil, a ridiculous villain. And so I wasn't feeling it. I was not feeling the husband storyline at all. It was. But once again, we find ourselves with Kennedy Ryan's side characters. Why can't I get on board with Kennedy Ryan's side characters? I find Kennedy Ryan's side characters to be so damn corny. I hated the side characters in here, which was her. I hated the side characters in here. I don't like the side characters in here. That conversation where they're like, oh, he's not invited to the cookout. You literally could put a gun to the back of my throat. Like, what? In 2024, we're having invited to the cookout conversations? Like, oh my gosh. Some of the dialogue in here, I also could not get on board with at all. I haven't said my rating yet. A lot of people said they did not like this book, and I am not on that side of the fence. I am not on the disliking this book thing. I just have certain questions. I have certain questions that I need answered, and I want to see how other people felt about this thing. And so then I will give my rating at the end. But I am not the people who are like DNF or 1-star. That's not me. I did not greatly dislike this book at all. They did not do it for me either. And that brings me to my second storyline. How did y'all feel about the mother? The stuff about the mother and the All About Love by Bell Hooks. I want everyone to pick up a new book. I want everyone to pick up a new Bell Hooks book to harass us with. I'm just asking us to find a new Bell Hooks book to like harass everyone with. Like, oh my God. I feel like everywhere I go, that book haunts me. Like, oh my God. But how do we feel about the mother? To me, shoehorned in, did not care. I'm gonna be honest with you. When she started reading the little passage from the diary, I skimmed. I can't even tell you fully what was in the passage. I didn't care. I did not care about none of the family, anything going on with the family, the sister being a lesbian, happy pride, but did not care. I just didn't care about nothing going on with the family. And that's just, I think, a Kennedy Ryan side character thing for me. And both of these two books we've read from Kennedy Ryan in his book club, I felt nothing but the side characters. And I definitely don't care about nobody's dead mama. That's actually, ooh, I should make a whole video about stuff in books I don't like. I don't care about dead characters in books. Dead characters in books who are there to just teach our characters some like lesson from the afterworld does nothing for me. I feel absolutely nothing for it. So I didn't feel nothing about any of this. What did her mama teach her from the dead that she couldn't learn from her damn self? Your husband sucked. Your husband sucked this entire time. Did you really need your dead mama to tell you that? Nothing. I agree. It added nothing to the plot. I feel like it didn't even give you any real emotional stakes. I would actually have much rathered we got that storyline where she was helping the lady who had cancer and she was cleaning her house. I would much rather that have been like our fairy godmother figure in the book, because I actually didn't mind that at all, her like helping other people in need and her giving back because her husband stole. I like that. So I would much rather that character, what's her name, Cora or something? I would much rather maybe she have been the person who helped Soledad realize she doesn't need to be alone and she can have love and all of this stuff, instead of this like dead figure character who's just off to the side. I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it. I agree. Picked up, put down, picked down. Like 1 minute she's there, the next minute she's not. Anything else I want to add to this? Agree, it wasn't needed. And once again, we have a Kennedy Ryan book that's checking out at 387 pages. 387 pages. This is not a short book. We could get rid of some stuff. And I think there's just one too many storylines going on. You guys, there are things I liked about this book. I'm not going to sit here and drag this book again. But next thing I didn't care about, y'all tell me how y'all feel. How do y'all feel about books where people become influencers? How do y'all feel? Because, baby, that's going on my list of things I don't like in books. It's going on my list of things I don't like in books. I do not like it when main characters, like, I do not like books about influencers. I do not like, unless the book is going to totally be about a person being an influencer, like, that's the point of the book. I do not like a B, C, D plot of someone becoming an influencer. I do not like it. Maybe it's because it hits a little bit too close to home. Maybe it's because there's a level of like there's a level of disbelief I can't suspend, that people are just going viral overnight and it's just changing their damn lives. Or like, being an influencer is so great, being a content creator is so great. There's like a level of disbelief I can't have, but like, I don't like it. I find it so boring. And so in this book, Soledad decides to become an influencer. Go get a real job. Soledad went to Cornell. Leave being an influencer to us people who have nothing to do. Go get a real job, Soledad. Like, go get a real damn job. Why are you trying to be on TikTok with the kids? And so, like, it just seemed like, once again, who is Soledad as, like, a person? Another thing that bothered me, and this is fickle, this is not something that has to do with the quality of the book, it's just fickle. When all of her friends were saying, like, yeah, girl, we don't know why you sit at home all day being a housewife. And she gives some like excuse that like Black women back in the day were like forced to go to work because like they came up with a law that Black women had to like work in order to be in these people's houses. This is one of those things where like you take a truth and then you put it on top of something else to make a point that isn't fully there. There's such a small percentage of Black women who even had the like possibility of being able to stay at home because their husband sent enough money from war, or their husbands just had good enough jobs. So to sit here and say you should just be a housewife because Black women historically ain't been able to stay at home because of white people, that is true. Racism is the reason, but it's because we ain't got no money. And then her argument doesn't stand up, because it's just like, and you see the issue with staying at home? Do you see the issue with staying at home while your husband makes all the money? You end up like this. So I don't like using historical context that is true and then putting on top of some bullshit ass reason to explain why you wanted to be a housewife all day or why Black women should be. It's just our God given right to sit at home. We deserve to sit at home all day and be housewives. I just find that so silly. And I just think you can be a housewife. I have nothing against being a housewife. I have nothing against sitting at home doing absolutely nothing. My point is, I don't like when people take real historical context and put it on top of some bullshit. And so that bothered me, but like bothered me in a stupid way. But yeah, I did not like Soledad being an influencer. Didn't care nothing about Soledad being an influencer. Didn't care nothing about Soledad making her baskets. I just didn't. Yeah, because he went to MIT and she went to Cornell, did she not? All she does is talk. Soledad is fully unserious. She's a fully unserious person. Like your kids are about to live post the pillar because your husband's a freaking thief, and the first thing you jump to is influencing. You let these people convince you to go be an influencer instead of going to the goddamn job fair. Be serious and like you can go get a job, and then like go. I'm sure a bunch of rich people live in this town. They can't put you on. Judah can't put you on to no job. Like, why did she immediately just go to this idea she should just go be a damn influencer? Didn't like it. Didn't like none of it. Didn't like her being on TikTok. I'm just like, this is stupid. Down and goddamn out. Ain't been doing nothing with her life for the past 20 years. Oh, okay. She blew up overnight. That I'm telling you, it just takes a level of disbelief that I cannot get with, especially in the TikTok era of blowing up. Because at least if you blow up on YouTube, you will get a big ass AdSense check. As long as you like have ads on your channel, you will get a big ass AdSense check if you blow up on YouTube. But on TikTok, blowing up is not like that isn't the issue. The issue is taking that being viral and then turning it into something. So this idea that she just blows up overnight and all of a sudden she's able to pay her damn bills, I'm just like, girl, okay, you got it. I'm supposed to believe you didn't know your husband was stealing Phaedra Park style. Okay, you got it. I don't know. Soledad just seemed a little silly to me. Soledad just seemed a little silly to me. She seemed a little aimless to me. And so now we get into like the actual romance of this. How do we feel about Judah Cross? Judah Cross, girls. How do we feel about Judah Cross? Do we like Judah Cross? Do we care nothing about Judah Cross? How do we feel about Judah? Because that's another thing that goes with my ratings. Whether or not we like Judah, how do we feel about Judah? Judah Cross family dynamic was my favorite part. This is where I get into what I liked about the book. Oh, the autism representation is so good because, ooh, don't get me on a soapbox because I might hurt some feelings if I get on this soapbox. I feel like online and in popular culture in this moment, we are bastardizing the conversation about autism. We are silencing people whose autism literally stops them due to ableism in this society, stops them from being able to move through life like everyone else. We're silencing those people who deal with whose autism is not presented in a way that's comfortable to everyone, and we're giving a louder voice to people who do have autism but are able to assimilate into culture, who this world is built around and it's helpful for them. They get the loudest voice, and then the people who really are struggling every single day, and the people who are made fun of, who are made a mockery of, who can't just exist in this world as everyone else does, they don't get this voice. And so it's so good to see a story where we are talking about the different types of autism and the people who are really like they visibly struggle to be able to move through this world. Because I just think the conversation about autism online has been bastardized by people who are not well-intentioned, people who just want themselves to be in the center of the conversation. And we need to give a voice to the people who we literally don't make this world easy for at all. We don't make this world easy for. We don't make school easy for them. We don't make the world easy for them. All of it. We don't make anything. We don't care about their sensory needs. We don't care about any of that. And we just send them out into the world. That's the people who I want to have a louder conversation about. And so I love that this book talked about that. It talked about the autism that y'all don't like talking about, the people who y'all make fun of, the people who y'all don't like being around, the people who y'all are like, oh my God, y'all looking at them crazy in public. That those are the people who I want to discuss, because y'all have completely silenced those people in order to center yourself. And I'm not saying that the people who struggle with autism that is more palatable do not have anything to be mad about, or life isn't hard for them. What I'm saying is it is very intentional who y'all are silencing and who y'all are giving a voice to in the conversation about autism. So I say that to say this: I really love the autism representation in this book. I love the way they talked about the two kids. I love the way they talked about like this, the small things that goes into parenting children who have autism, and the different things that you have to do and the stuff that it takes out of you. I like the fact about how Judah was talking about how like when his son was younger, like people saw that his son had autism. It was just like, okay, he's young, he's throwing a temper tantrum. But as you get older, like a lot of people, especially if you're a Black child, people look at you another way. They're like, oh, he has anger issues. Oh, he has all of it. And so it's no longer looked at as just a child who a child who is having a temper tantrum is looked at like, oh, this big old child needs to be controlled. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Thought Kennedy Ryan did that excellent. Loved it. I did not know this, but Kennedy Ryan, brilliant. Kennedy Ryan did a brilliant job. Loved it. Thought it was so good. Thought it was so well done. Thought the like stuff with the seizures. I like how that was the thing that brought them back together. Her going to the hospital when he had a seizure at school. I loved it. I loved everything about it. It's literally one of the top things in my notes. Thought it was done brilliant. Brilliant. Well, we can only do so much. Now, if they would have took some pages away from that dead mama storyline, we could have got more with the kids. Now, I say that to say this. Yes, I like the stuff about the autism and with the boys. Loved it. Loved it. You want to know who I didn't like? Tremaine. This is maybe a me thing, and I might have to sit on this island all by myself. Tremaine is Judah Cross' wife, ex-wife. I didn't like her. I did not like her. Why do I feel like, number one, I think they are a bit too chummy. Yes, I'm gonna say it, and problematic as that may be, they are a bit too chummy for me. I have to stand on the hill that I do not think exes should just be the bestest of goddamn friends. When he was going on he was like the third wing on their little date. He was talking to the husband, stuff not even about the kids, or she would just cancel seeing the kids throughout the book. Like he would end up having to like step in and do stuff for the kids because either she doing something else or this. And I'm just like, now if the roles were reversed and it was Judah not doing shit, or Judah constantly changing the plans, and Judah constantly being like she need to show up and do this, I would have been on Judah's ass. So therefore, I'm like, Tremaine kind of like taking advantage of Judah. Yeah, I'm gonna say it. I feel like she was taking advantage of Judah because Judah was good and nice. I did not like the wife. I thought they were way too chummy. I thought they were way too bestie pop. Like, no. I did not like it. Not my man. Not my man. Not about to be sitting up here, kikiing with his ex-wife. Well, I don't know what to tell you. Like, get the fuck out of my face. Like, there's a level of like. This is one of those things where like people throw the baby out with the bathwater. Like, you want to like your ex, right? Like, no one's saying you should hate your ex-wife, but when people try to do this thing where they're like, well, I don't want to hate my ex-wife, so let me like act like me and my ex-wife are like the bestest friends in the world. That's what you get in books, or people do that in real life. They just be like, ooh, me and my ex, we can still do this and still do. No, actually we can't. Like, we can have a nice, cordial relationship where we co-parent our children. You need to pick them up on time. You need to pick them up when you say you're gonna pick them up. You need to do what you say. I'm not gonna do none of that. But like this, let me hook you up, making jokes about sex lives and stuff like that. I'm not trying to do that with my goddamn ex. We exes for a reason. She left your ass for a reason, Judah. She didn't want your ass, and we good. We done. We don't need to be chummy no more. I can have other friends. I can make other friends. I can make new friends. The only thing that you and I need to talk about is these two sons. You need to pick them up on time, but that's it. No, I'm sorry. And I'm not getting off this square. Like, please, I hate when that happens in books. How someone tries to take the high road, or they try to show that they're not petty like the rest of us. And they're just like, I love my ex-wife. Me and my ex-wife, we the bestest of friends. The only reason why we didn't work out is because we just too cool friends. Fuck that. Please, no. He was too chummy with Tremaine, and Tremaine wasn't all that damn great. And so now, like, what? Like, I'm sorry. Maybe I'm too strict. But like, every time they kept having a conversation, I'm just like, y'all need some friends. Y'all need some friends that's not each other. Because like, what? Who talks to their ex-husband about their new like sex life or his sex life or who he should be having sex with? I said, this is no, sorry, strict. Well, that's just too damn bad. She should feel bad. You did leave me. You did break up our home. But guess what? You went towards happiness. That's the game. I'm not saying she was wrong for breaking up with Judah. Like, you ain't happy, you better walk, girl. But what I'm saying is that's the damn, like, when you leave somebody, you leave somebody. Like, don't sit here and be trying to be friends with me over there, make it, oh, I gotta be chummy with the husband. Fuck him and fuck you too. But for the kids, we can be nice for the kids. Like, I don't have to hate you. That's why I say it's a baby out with the bathwater thing. Like, people think because you don't want to be chummy with an ex, you have to hate them, or you have to like hate the person you had a baby with. I ain't saying that. All I'm saying is we don't need to break bread together. Like, unless the kids are at the table, we don't need to be at no tables together. We don't need to be jokey, laugh, ha, ha together. Like, it's just never gave that. Sorry. Judah didn't have no friends. Oh, I didn't. This whole conversation started with, how do y'all feel about Judah? I'm sorry if you got to retype your answer. How do y'all feel about Judah? All together, all around. How do we feel for Judah as a love interest? How do we feel? What's the tea? How do we feel about Judah? Let me see what y'all saying. Then I'm going to tell you what I'm saying. For me, when it comes to Judah, I said I'm gonna say something. He's a good man, Savannah. Judah is good. There's not, well, we'll get into that. Very perfect. He's not memorable. He was fine, as in like fine. I still like him a lot, to be honest. Here is the thing about Judah Cross. I don't see him for Soledad. There's two things. Let me start to talk before I lose my train of thought. Number one, not seeing him for Soledad. Let me get that off the table. The reason why I think me and you don't fully see him for Soledad is because there's only so many times in a book you're going to keep getting a false start relationship before you, as the reader, start to say, well, shit, maybe y'all shouldn't be together. Why am I rooting for something that y'all don't want? And so as Soledad keeps not like being with this guy, you keep being like, okay, girl, then whatever. Like, you got it. Like, I can't want it more than you want it, girl. So like the first time they like, after the Christmas party, when she like when she caters it, you're just like, okay, girl, get your man, and she don't want him then. And then again happens, and like they have a little fool la la, but she's like, I don't want to be like that. Ooh, I don't really like you like that. Ooh, I really don't want to date you like that. And it's just like, okay, girl, okay, you don't gotta convince me. You do not have to convince me. Like, if you don't want it, I don't want it either, boo. And that's the issue I have with this book a little bit, because it's just like, I can't want it for you. I cannot want it for you. I don't even know what you're clinging on to. You making TikToks in your back shed while your baby daddy is in jail. Like, what could be worse? What could be worse than this? Like, okay, you and him break up. Who cares? Like, your life sucks right now. Your life sucks. And you know what? If going on a couple dates will make you a little bit happier, who cares? So I was just like, there's only but so much will they, won't they, that a bitch like me can take before I say, then don't. then don't. Okay, be alone. Be alone with your STD. What you want from me, girl? I don't want nothing from you. Another thing. What's his name? Judah Cross was a little too like, that's funny, girl. When she said she had an STD, another part of where Judah just is just like, life is just life. Everything is just so fun. You just had a sexual encounter with this woman, and she just told you she had chlamydia at a point, and you were just like, that's so fucking funny. Like, are you gonna ask any follow-up questions? Are you gonna ask any follow-up questions? Are we? But no, Judah's not gonna do that. Judah's not gonna do it. He's not gonna act like a normal person. I don't care. It is problematic, but I don't care that it's problem, because who would? If you are having a if you and somebody just had a sexual encounter and y'all talking back and forth about your life, and they go, yeah, girl, so I had chlamydia the other day, and you just like, let's rewind the tape, Bookie. Rewind the tape. Of course she got it treated, but he don't know that. He don't know nothing. We in the book, so we know that, but he doesn't know a thing. This is news to him. So he's just sitting there like, oh, yeah, whatever. That doesn't matter. Like, okay. Like, ask a question or two. Like, what's good? Like, even make a face. I don't know. Can we be normal? Like, please, this is just one of those book things where everyone just acts like everyone is just politically correct, and everyone's just so nice. Just like the ex-wife thing, being friends with your ex-wife, and nobody is fucking for real. Like, that's what this is. Like, please, nobody who you literally want to have sex with or just had a sexual encounter is gonna look you dead in your eye and tell you that they husband gave them chlamydia, and you just about to be like, ooh, yeah, bad. Be serious. Be serious. Questions are going to be asked. Okay. Like, come on. Like, come on. If we gonna tell it, then we gotta tell it all, baby. Now I need a fool, because that's another thing. You so right, Shannon. Because now I'm questioning so much. Because, like, okay, you had chlamydia, but like, I don't know you from a hole in the wall. Like, can we get? I need a full scan. I need full blood results. Come on. I need a full. Let's be serious. I show you mine. You show me yours. Like, let's make a date out of it, girl. Let's go down to the clinic. But like, let's like act like you're just supposed to sit there and just be like, chlamydia. What fun. Y'all not strict enough for me. Not strict enough. You want to know what? I'm going to disagree. I've been too mean to this book. The sex scene they have after she gets mad about the baby, when she finds out Amber's pregnant. Amber is such an unserious character in this book, by the way. After she finds out Amber's pregnant and she goes over to his house, like, just to have like, I need to get my life together sex. I actually really enjoyed that sex scene. I don't remember. I know they like fooled around in the shed. That's when the chlamydia thing came up. And then there was another sex scene that like I remember nothing about. But that sex scene after she finds out about Amber and she goes to his house, I do enjoy. One thing about me, I love me a talking ass sex scene. I love a sex scene where like both parties like constantly are talking about them about to have sex. Like, I like it when like there's the sex scene and then there's like also them having like a dialogue about their relationship. It's weird. I don't know, but it works in here. And at work with me, them constantly talking back and forth to each other about like non-sex things, the sex thing I'd say, it worked for me. I don't know. I enjoy that sex scene. I put it down in my notes. That sex scene, I really, really enjoyed this idea. Like, they don't know if they want to date each other, but they want to have sex. Like, ooh, should we do this? Should we not? Enjoyed it. I enjoyed that sex scene. So I'm not gonna take nothing away from her there. No, not there. No, I liked the sex scenes. I thought the sex scenes were good in this book. Like, I will tell, I know when I do not like sex scenes in a book, and this wasn't that. I enjoyed most of them. Ooh, that brings me to another thing. Is it me, or have y'all know, in this book particularly, these two characters like don't know each other, but they quickly start talking to each other in a really vulgar way. Like, stay with me. Like, all of a sudden, instead of like being like, ooh, these two people had sex, it's just like, and they was fucking. And they was like, they just immediately start saying very like vulgar words to one another. And it's just like, people don't talk to each other like this. Like this doesn't even have anything to do with like them like sexually. This has everything to do like their regular conversations that they were having with each other. They would use such vulgar words to say certain things. And I'm just like, what is this dial? These two people do not know each other. They're not friends in any way. They're not this, and they're just this. They're just talking to each other in quite a personal way. And I just thought that to be so strange. I thought the dialogue in this book to be really, really strange between Soledad and Judah. And I don't know what I didn't like it. I'm like, people just don't start saying these words to each other, and it's just like, the entire time. Judah has no friends. Number two, that brings us to the next thing. What is Judah's like? What is Judah? If I allow Soledad to be whimsy, she's whimsy, unemployed, stupid at times, but her heart's in the right place. What is Judah? Is Judah interesting? No. Judah has a good job, I guess. And then Judah was hired to see who was stealing money. What's Judah gonna do after this? I'm confused. Like I'm confused as to like what even Judah is like. What does he even like do? Like what is Judah? All we know about Judah is like he takes really good care of his sons. He has an ex-wife who's strange. And like that's it. And that brings me to like all together, we read romance books in here. What does Judah like about Soledad? What does Judah like about Soledad? Like I said, because we get so many moments of this relationship being so false starty, should they be together? I'm going to date myself. We never get a real moment of Judah and Soledad like having that like first real good meet cute. Like they make eyes at each other at the original Christmas party when she's with her husband. She has a scene with his son, but there's never a moment where Soledad and Judah have a real like meet cute. I need to see this person again. I really like this person. Like we really hit it off and it was great. And so you see Judah having a reason to have this obsession with Soledad. Should I get into the fact that Judah was low-key stalking Soledad? I won't even do that today. And so when he comes over to her house after the husband gets arrested, it's like, why? And then when he like sends her groceries and he just keeps on, this woman is so great. This woman is so great. The people at his job are saying like, we gonna freeze her accounts and do all of this stuff. And he's just like, no, don't do it. But I'm sure this isn't the first person you've taken down and won't be the last. What makes Soledad so different than all the other people you've taken down in the past? You've been doing this for forever. Like what makes this so different? So I was just waiting for this moment, I guess, for like almost their relationship to be grounded a bit, to get this moment where it's like, oh, these two people sync on a certain level. Even if we would have got another moment with maybe Soledad and his kids, like this moment where it's just like, oh, this woman could fit into my life, this could work. But eventually it got to the point for me where I was just like, I don't know why you're doing all this, Judah. I don't know if all of this is worth it. You seem alone. And then just in case, as Monty said, Judah's life wasn't all bad. He hasn't had sex in years. It's just like they just made Judah's life just seem so damn depressing. All he has is his sons, who he seems to be damn near raising by himself, because ex-wifey always got something to goddamn do. And so it's just like, Judah, what does Judah have going on? And so when Soledad constantly keeps like being like, I'm not ready yet. It's just like, I think you should move on, Judah. If Judah is so fine and everybody just loves Judah so much, Judah should just go be with somebody else. I don't know. He just seems so sad. And that was all he ever told us, girl. And that was all he ever told us. Soledad had a nice body. And that was it. Soledad looked good, and that was it. Soledad had nice hair, and that was it. That was it. That's all it had going on. And he was just doing so damn much and he cared so damn bad. And I'm just like, I need a little bit more. I need a little bit more to root for these two people. I do. I do. Not you got 50 pages left to read. And so that's why I wanted more of a moment where they like started blending. And I thought we were gonna get that when the kids, when they all had dinner together, but we didn't. Ooh, how do y'all feel about the daughter? What is with Kennedy Ryan writing these mean ass daughter characters? How do y'all feel about the daughter not liking Judah Cross? Did she have a reason to dislike that man? Did she have a reason? Oh, when she whacked her mama, do y'all remember the kitchen scene where she says something about her mama only being a housewife and like looking at and looking after the daddy? Why was she whacking her mama up like that? Oh my God, what is it with Kennedy Ryan and these kids characters that are so damn mean? Oh my God. But did she have a reason to dislike Judah Cross? Here is the thing. This is my thing on her disliking Judah Cross. I would too. Like, she doesn't have any context as to who this man is. Her daddy's sitting in jail. And like I said, there's no moment where Soledad really acknowledges that this man was absolutely abysmal before they got a divorce, before he got arrested. Like, I don't understand why Soledad was still in that marriage. So if she was still in the marriage, the kids were brought to believe everything is on the up and up. I would look at Judah kind of crazy too. Like, I don't know. Like, it do seem like you just jump into the next man because you need your bills paid. Like, I don't know. But she didn't have to whack her mama like that. She did not have, she was so mean. She was so mean and so rude. But Kennedy Ryan loves writing a mean and rude character. Should she have taken the kids to go see the daddy in prison? The thing is, the daddy don't care about them. That I would have been, see, this is my problem. This is why I can't be nobody mama. Because I would have been told them kids, your daddy don't care about you, girl. Like, you see the phone ringing off the line? Your daddy get one phone call a day. Baby, have you seen phone calls coming here? Do you have a collect call from the state penitentiary? Absolutely not. Like, I would have been like, girl, read the damn room. Do you think your daddy wants you to see this? I ain't got no kids. So, I don't know. I guess complicated situation, but like I said, daddy is a cartoon villain though. Like, I just find it so hard to believe like he's stealing all this money. He's just the worst guy in the world. You was with him for so long. I don't know. This is me. These are the thoughts that run through my head as I'm reading these books. I'm just like, I don't know. What y'all think? Traumatized and worse than what daddy get taken. Like, it's all down here for. See, this is the problem. See, oh, I need to start giving advice on people with kids. This is the problem. Like, it's already happened. And nothing is worse than seeing your daddy be cuffed up by the FBI. Like, it can get no worse. It can. You might as well tell it all. You might as well tell it all. So, like, if he already, I get it. If it was like hush, hush, the feds might be knocking at our door, but he's already in jail. The kids is already whispering down at the playhouse. Like, what do you want? What do you want? You might as well tell them. Like, I guess you ain't gotta tell them that like Amber is having a baby. I guess you ain't telling. How do we feel about Soledad caring that Amber is having a baby? I thought that was real. I thought that was really real. I like that moment with Soledad being affected by Amber being pregnant, because also, like, I do think that this was another moment to have this, like, ooh, at least I'm free. At least I'm free. You got to deal with his stuff. But I actually enjoyed Soledad being like affected by her man having a baby, because like that would suck. Like, even if you don't like that man, like that man was just straight up lying to you. He was just straight up lying to you. Your children have a half sibling now with some girl named Amber. And so like I thought that was really real. I really liked that moment. Actually like the whole prison scene. Was it a little soap opera? Yes. It was given daytime soap, but I did like that scene. But then you get the part where she like tries to like stick it to the husband, and I thought that was kind of corny. But like, whatever. I liked it. I like that scene. I like the scene of her being upset. And like I said, I like the sex scene when she runs the Judah's house and straightens all that up. I liked it. I liked it. I agree. I think that's a really good scene. And I like how a lot of times, like, I was talking about in books with people who have exes, they act like they're not phased by anything their exes did. Like Judah is sitting here acting like he doesn't give a damn that his ex-wife, and has a new man who he left her for, or who she left him for, and all this stuff, and like everything's just chummy. I like a moment of just like, this shit sucks. Like, he literally abandoned me and my kids. But then I don't, how do we feel about the ending? Oh, by the way, I already told you the last 100 pages I found completely snooze fest. And also the epilogue, I didn't need very much either. The epilogue really didn't do nothing for me either. I just found the whole last 100 pages of this book to be absolutely boring. Nothing even happens in it. Now, but if you didn't read, the husband gets out of jail and he flees, and what's his name? Judah don't even go look for the man, because he just like, I don't want her, I don't want him to even be in your life. How do we feel about that? Ooh, Judah kind of nasty for that. How do we feel about Judah just being like, you know what, you can go because you need to stay the hell away from my girlfriend? That kind of sucks. How do I feel? In theory, he should do that, right? Because the dude sucks. But also, like, that means these kids ain't never gonna have no daddy. He trying to be the father that stepped up. Because them kids ain't never gonna have no daddy. So that's how the book ends. He's just like, and he can go, and he's good. And it's just like, I don't know, Judah. Maybe you should have went to go find their daddy. Maybe you should have went to go find their daddy so they can have a goddamn daddy. That's what I don't understand. I don't understand how in the beginning we just like, we gotta protect the kids. We can't tell the kids that the daddy bad. And the next minute it's just like, hey, y'all can have no daddy at goddamn all. Y'all can have no daddy at all. Pig. I said from the beginning they should have no daddy at all. I would have been like, yo, thieving ass. Like, you done sat here, had the FBI all in the home, wrecking shit up, and I'm supposed to sit here and give a damn what you got to say. But now all of a sudden everybody was like, ooh, protect the kids, whatever. So we go with protect the kids, and now Judah decided they shouldn't have a daddy at all. They shouldn't have a daddy at all. I don't know. Agreed. Who is Judah to decide if they should have a goddamn daddy or not? Or if they should, and I guess he is fleeing. Let's be clear. He is fleeing the country. So he don't want to see them no more than no more than they want to see him. But still, like, don't you want that for them? Don't you be like, you know what? Y'all should have a dad. I'm gonna bring y'all daddy back in handcuffs. Okay. I'm gonna get y'all daddy. I'm gonna get him back here. I don't know. Agreed. Danny. Not his decision to make. Not his decision to make. Them kids can see their daddy. Especially because didn't Soledad tell us in the beginning that they he wasn't all a terrible dad. This goes back to him just not really being an established character. One minute we're supposed to believe like Soledad would stay married to this man for like 20 years, and like they had to have had good moments. She wanted to have sex with him. She literally wanted to have sex with him before the Christmas party. How bad could he have really been? And then we're supposed to believe that he's a great dad, that these kids are so distraught that he's gone. But then also he's sleeping with other people, giving people STDs, he's stealing $6 million and all this stuff, and he's fleeing the country. It's just inconsistency and character. So like, I'm like, how am I supposed to believe? Maybe he did want to be a good dad, but he just wanted his money. And another thing, why did he want this money so bad? Can we discuss that? What was the money stuff? Like, I'm so confused. Like, okay, he was stealing $6 million, but it seemed like they lived well. Was that fully explained? Was this part was this explained why I was like annoyed with the book? Why did he want this money so bad? Was it because of just Amber? Was it because I'm sure he could have took care of Amber without the money. I'm confused. Why did he want the money? Why did I never think about this when I was reading? Why did he want this money so bad? Why did this money matter so bad? Like, they act like he literally was like going broke. Like, I get he was selling pots and damn pans, but like, I'm supposed to believe this like Skyland place that they live in Atlanta is affluent and nice. Like, why did he need to steal $6 million so bad and then got out of jail and needed to really? I get why when he got out of jail he needed some money. What the hell else was he gonna do? But like, I didn't get it. Like, I'm sorry. The reason why I came on here and structured this with so many questions is because so many things in this book just simply confuse me. A lot of people's actions just simply confused me. I'm confused. What do you need the money for? That's something to pay off his mission. He needs $6 million. What does Amber have? What does Amber have that he need all this damn money? And so, like, and that's my thing. But when he's explaining to Soledad his whole entire plan, it just seems too mapped out. Like, I get stealing from the company, like, whatever. But like, it just seems too mapped. Like, he's so desperate for this money. That is the part that I'm so confused about. Like, his desperation for the money. Like, I don't understand at all. It's one thing to just be stealing from the company because you can, and that's what we're gonna do. It's another thing to just, like, he's literally in jail. Like, I'm willing to do 2 years in jail for this money. Like, I just simply need this money so damn bad. So, like, I guess you could just say Amber's the mastermind behind it. Amber's the mastermind behind it. She saw opportunity, she saw Will, and she said, we getting this money. So, anyways, all together, is this all my notes? Oh, also, I love a good slow burn. Lord knows that I do. I love a good slow burn. This slow burn might have been a little bit too slow. You get to the 200-page mark of this book, and our characters are not even together yet. We get no moment in this book where these two characters are like really ever together. And so, like, I do love the fact, the reason why this book won't get a 1 star or 2 star for me, I do think there's a lot of tension in this book that I love. I just love a good tension-filled romance. I really, really do. So, like, I enjoyed that, but I do think the slow burn at some point, we got to wrap it up. At some point, these two characters do need to be together. So that was like my biggest gripe with this book. If I look past the fact that Judah's boring and Soledad's kind of stupid, I just think the slow burn lasted too damn long. We don't get the tension break in this book till we are halfway through the book. And so I'm just like, a slow burn can only go on but so long. I agree. It gives you something. It gives you something to tune in for, right? It gives you something to be here for. I think romance books these days are a little bit too chummy. That's why I think I will always be here for a Kennedy Ryan book, because Kennedy Ryan is going to give me some good old fashioned black ass mess. And so I live to be, I mean, at least I'm here for something. At least I was reading something that, like, I was curious. That's another thing I'm going to give this book. I'm going to give this book curiosity. I was quite curious how certain things in this book were going to wrap up. And there are many books that we have read in this book club where I don't give a damn. So, like, I am going to give I'm going to give it that as well. So we at least have it at a 3. Let's see if somebody can give it a chance at a 3.5. I didn't mind it either until we got to the 200-page mark and these two people still aren't together, and then they're still questioning if they should be together. At some point I was just like, girl, I agree. And then, like, other storyline, we're spending time with her being an influencer. I'm like, good damn. Like, can we let's wrap this up. Especially because I did feel like there was tension between them. Like, I did feel the sexual chemistry between them. That's why I was just like, ooh, y'all should be together, because I feel the tension, I feel it. So altogether, you guys, I'm gonna give this book 2 through 2. I'm going to give this book 3.5 stars. See, I said all that and I'm not even being nasty. I'm giving this book 3.5 stars. I enjoyed this book more than I probably enjoyed. Is this my favorite book we read? This is my favorite book. Yep. This is my favorite book that we've read this year in the book club. I enjoyed myself. The last 100 pages left a lot to be desired for me, but altogether, I did not dislike this book. Did I like it more than Before I Let Go? No, I like Before I Let Go more. But that's a matter of taste to me. I just thought this was a realer story. I think I like this more in the romance aspect for it. I like Soledad and Judah together. I do. And I don't really care. I don't think about these two characters in a relationship sense. I don't. This was just purely, to me, like almost a drama. So, like, I don't really see Before I Let Go as a pure, like, relationship thing, but I do think I like the overall story better and Before I Let Go. But as a romance book, I think I like this more as a romance book. But both of these books I would recommend, and both of these books I enjoyed perfectly fine. So anyways, it's June and it's Pride and it's time for some lesbians. We're reading the 710 Split next month. I finally got this book came out like at the end of last month or early last month, so I finally got my hands on it. It came in the mail as a pre-order. I cannot wait to discuss it with you guys next month. And peace. Love you guys.